everybody, Fixxxer here, and welcome to the channel news for the month of August. And boy did I have a busy month. Let's talk about a few things before we hop into videos. As always, down in the description below will be timestamps, so you guys can just jump to the section you care most about, whether it's current series or future series, things like that. I guess a good place to start would be Hurricane Harvey. For those of you who do not follow me on Twitter, or just don't know, I was at ground zero for Harvey. I came out okay. Nothing's damaged or anything like that. I'm in a good spot on the watershed, and I'm a good spot in relation to the bayou and all that jazz. Everything's cool, no problemo. It's been pretty crazy seeing all the people pitching in from all over, man. From all over the state and neighboring states coming here. People putting up ad hoc boat launches all over the place, helping people out. Been pretty amazing. So that was that. I'm okay. We're moving on. I suppose I ought to throw in a little update on my health as well. Unfortunately, I have no update because I've had nothing but problems getting doctors to communicate with each other, getting appointments, and more appointments just lead to more appointments, and it never ends. I've been chasing this specific issue since February, and I still have no answer, and I'm not even sure I'm going to get an answer this year at this point, because my neurologist appointment was unfortunately during Harvey, and it got canceled because of that, obviously, and I went to reschedule, and they don't have another opening until late October. So that's just, once again, going to prolong the entire ordeal. That's where I'm at, so no real update, unfortunately. Let's talk about streaming. I've done some streaming over the past couple of weeks. I guess I'll post some links in the description below to my few streams. I did 3 of them. I played 3 games. I played Shrouded Isle, which is kind of like a cult simulator. I played all the way through that, so if you want to watch that VOD, you'll see it in the link in the description below. I played Slime Rancher. I've never played it before, so I went in there completely blind, and I do a lot of noob things, so if that's going to trigger you, probably shouldn't watch it. I'll put that VOD in the link in the description below as well. And I played Scanner Sombre, which is an Introversion game, which is the developer that made Prison Architect. Only this game is nothing like Prison Architect. They just wanted to go a different route and make something completely different. It's a walking simulator of sorts. It's only 2 hours long. Again, the VOD will be in the description below if you want to take a look at that. So today marks the first day of my stream schedule. I'll be streaming now every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I don't plan my streams to be very long. We're talking 3 hours, probably, usually, something like that. So you can now expect me every Friday to be streaming over on Twitch at Fixxxer TV. So I'm going to stick with it 1 day per week. I may expand on that sometime in the future. We'll see. But for now, I want to start off slow and easy because I don't really have the energy to stream often and definitely not for long periods of time. I did do, I think, what was it? Slime Rancher for like 4 hours, and that wore me out. So every Friday for now. And finally, if you want to get notified for things on the channel and stuff like that, go ahead and follow me on Fixxxer TV. I've been giving away games there for months now, something like that. I give away a game every Friday, so if you want in on that, head over to Twitter at Fixxxer TV. Okay, let's jump into current series, and there are quite a few of them. One thing Harvey did allow me to do is because my employer was not open, as were most people employers. I had some time to catch up on a lot of series, and that was pretty amazing. I guess we'll start with the newest first. I started a game called Last Day of June, which is a sadness simulator, apparently. It's about a man who cycles through some memories of his wife who passed away some time ago. I've only played I only got 2 episodes of that. Seems like an interesting game. If you're looking for something that will maybe touch the feels a little bit, head on over there and watch some Last Day of June. The Escapists 2 has come out, and I am doing a co-op series with Mouldy, Molly, and Talkus, 4 players. We're all in the same prison, and we're all trying to work together to bust out. We're probably going to do a second series after that one ends. Maybe like a versus mode or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll make a decision after that ends. But when that series ends, you can most likely expect a second one to pop up. It's a fun game, especially with co-op. Co-op makes it a lot more fun. Co-op usually makes a lot of things more fun, right? Alright, next up to the plate is the Pillars of the Earth. I think I have a couple more episodes going up on that. So this game takes place in, I think it was 12th century England, and it's based on a book, actually, by Ken Follett. Popular book, sold like 20 million copies. I really enjoyed the game. The art style is amazing. Soundtrack is fantastic. The voice acting is great. Amazing game. And it's episodic. Only 1 episode's out right now. And it's very intense. It takes place during, well, it's 12th century, so, there's poverty and war about. And you follow mostly poor people, and it focuses on the building of a cathedral to try to inspire the poor people, of course, in the area and whatnot. Anyways, it was a lot more intense in its dramatic storylines than I kind of thought it would be. I was really impressed by it. I really enjoyed it. And if you're looking for something a little bit more serious and adult, I guess I could say, go check out that game. It was really good. Next up is Observer, and before I hop into Observer, actually, Pillars of the Earth is doing horrible on my channel, actually, and so is Observer, and so is Hellblade. So many, you guys aren't watching story-driven games right now for whatever reason. I don't know if my audience they're all here for kindergarten, right? You guys are all here for kindergarten, and that's not translating to Hellblade or Observer or Pillars of the Earth. And I'm telling you, man, you're missing out on 3 really good games. So Observer, it's a cyberpunk game where you play, it takes place in 2088, I think it is, and you play a guy called an Observer. He's law enforcement. Everybody's got augmentations and things like that. It's cyberpunky. And he is capable of logging into other people. People have jacks on their necks and whatnot. And he can log into other people, and he can experience their recent memories and stuff like that. And this is to help him solve crimes, of course. And it stars Rutger Hauer. He does the protagonist's voice. And visually, it is amazing. The story is interesting so far. I wouldn't say it's blowing me away at all, but it's interesting enough. But the visuals are crazy. When he goes to log into people, it's one of the most unique experiences I think I've ever had in gaming. It's really strange, very abstract, very different, and it's very well done. The attention to detail and this, not just cyberpunk, there's a bit of brutalism in there too. It's an interesting combination of cyberpunk and brutalism, I think. It's a really strange game. So if something like that might float your boat, then go check out Observer. It's one of those games that nobody really knows about, and it's probably one of the better games of the year. Alright, so let's move on to Hellblade. Oh my god, you guys, this game is failing so badly on my channel. You guys don't want to watch it. What's going on? It's such a good game. It's so good. So it's very story driven, but it's got some fighting elements in it. I don't want to call it Souls-like, because it's not as difficult or punishing as Dark Souls, but maybe like Souls light type of thing. Very light. It's not what makes the game at all. The story makes the game, the visuals make the game, but most specifically, the audio makes the game. The score is wonderful, but the audio effects are some of the best I've ever heard in a game, I think. I without spoiling too much. The character herself suffers from schizophrenia, and she hears voices in her head. So throughout the game, you have voices in your head telling you to do things or telling you to not do things and things like that. And they can swerve around in your head and whatnot, and they can help you out. It's another sense to her in a way. Sometimes, not always. Sometimes they hurt you. Sometimes they tell you to do things you're not supposed to do, so you don't know who to listen to. But they do help you out. Like if they're like, they'll yell at you to watch out if someone's behind your back, and sometimes that helps. You turn around, there is somebody there. very well done, very well done. Definitely check out Hellblade if you're looking for a very interesting, very intense story. It was a wonderful game. All right, moving on to the games that I've kind of set aside because of lots of things. I don't want to go into everything. So, you have Undertale and Perception and Outlast 2, not abandoned, not yet anyways. I came close to saying, you know what, screw it on Perception, but they're not abandoned completely yet. I do want to catch up on those as soon as I can get time to. Although I do want to say that the upcoming games list for September and October is pretty nuts. So much so that I'm a little bit worried that I'm not going to be able to cover the games that I want to cover. Those 3 are set aside, but I'm going to try to get them done in some way if I can. Alright, let's move on to series that ended in the month of July. Where do I start? Aporia? Let's start with Aporia. So, I did a game called Aporia Beyond the Valley, which is a walking simulator, and it had some puzzle elements in it. I want to give that credit to it. Quite a few puzzles, actually. Nothing... They're a little weird, but nothing too difficult. It was a pretty cool game. Not great by any stretch of the imagination, but if you're looking for something like Abzu, where you're this character that's perhaps in a long-lost, destroyed civilization, something along those lines, and you're going through the remains of it, trying to figure out what happened to them. Not as good as Abzu, though. I thought Abzu was pretty great, and Abzu was completely gorgeous. It was out of this world. Aporia can be pretty too. Pretty at times, not as pretty at other times. It had its moments. But if you really liked Abzu, then maybe check out Aporia. The Darkside Detective, that was a really interesting game. It's a point-and-click adventure. However, it did a very good job of giving you the feel of classic point-and-clicks without too much of the moon logic and failures of past point-and-clicks. You're a detective that believes in this, or I don't want to say believes in the supernatural, because supernatural does happen. He solves cases involving the supernatural, and the characters don't really walk around. They're stationary at every scene in the game, and so they take out that thing with the point and click where characters kind of awkwardly walk around in this like 2.5D space and whatnot. So if you like a lot of the stories or ideas of classic point and click, but you really hate the mechanics of classic point and click, then Darkside Detective would be a good game to jump on. But if you just want a goofy story with a bit of humor in it, then go check out the Darkside Detective. It was a good game. Alright, next up would be Tacoma, which was made by the devs of Gone Home. It is a walking simulator, but it's a little different than a generic walking simulator. There's a lot more interaction going on, and they have different things. You can look at like computers, and you can look through computers and kind of looking through some file systems, but in the far future, so it's a little different. Story was kind of interesting. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't blown away by it. You're this. I don't want to give away too much, but you're an astronaut of some sort in the future, and you come aboard this space station that had a catastrophe, and you go to inspect what happened on this space station, and you can access logs and things like that. It was a short series. It was a pretty good game. I wouldn't put it in my top 5 at all, but I think it's worth checking out. Alright, as far as the future goes, I don't have a single game that I can point to in the month of September and say, I'm absolutely going to be doing this game. I don't have one of those. However, I spent some time, like hours, the other day, looking through lists on Steam and on Giant Bomb and wherever. Lots of games coming out in September and October. We're talking, I probably got a list of 30 games that I saw that I'm like, this looks interesting. This is something I might want to put on my channel. That never happens. That's a giant list. It's never that big. So there was an unusual amount of tycoon and sim games that are in development right now. An unusual amount, to say the least. Holy cow. I know a lot of you have come from kindergarten and you seem to not be into the story-driven thing, which is my main squeeze. But I also like sim games, so it seems that the kindergarten fans tend to like sim games too. So if you came here for kindergarten and you're not into the story stuff, then maybe there's some Tycoon games around the corner that you guys might be into. I'm also starting to collect some games for the month of October. I like to pack my October full of horror games, not exclusively, but I do like my fair share of horror games. And I'm collecting a list. I have a few games on it already. I'm not going to name them because they're not guaranteed to go up on the channel. They're just a list of games that I would like to do. And if you guys have any suggestions for horror games, then go ahead and plop it down in the comments below. I am not looking for anything long. I want short games. I want games probably around 5 hours long, give or take. So something like Alien Isolation, no, I'm not going to do that. As much as I want to play that game, I haven't yet, and I'm not going to, I don't think. Okay, I think that's it. I think that sums up everything for this month. Did I get my months mixed up earlier in this video? I may have got my months mixed up. I may have said July instead of August, as far as the previous stuff goes. But anyway, I think that's it. I really hope you guys take a moment to check out either Hellblade, Observer, or The Pillars of the Earth, because I think they are 3 fantastic games, and absolutely nobody's watching them. It's so strange to me, because story-driven games were like my strength before kindergarten, but now it doesn't look like it. So I'm going to end this video by reminding you guys that I'll be streaming tonight. That's Friday, September 1st at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. I'll be doing Elder Scrolls Online, which I've never played before. I'm not too into the MMO thing anymore. I did it because it was on sale for $10, and it's normally like $30 or something like that. And I'm like, you know what, $10, I'll give it a shot because I want to just look around at the world to see what they got going on. And maybe the Morrowind DLC can go on sale one day too, because Morrowind, in the Elder Scrolls series, Morrowind came out and it blew me away. I got it when it was brand new, guys. That was one of the games that kind of, if you were to pick like turning points in your gaming life type of thing, you know, games that were most important to you throughout your life, Morrowind was one of those for me. I got really lost in it, and I got absorbed by the lore and the world and whatnot. And I was a young age when that came out, and I loved it. I absolutely loved Morrowind, and so I would like to see what it looks like in a modern engine. But anyways, I'll be streaming that tonight. Mouldy Operandus is going to join me as well. Not at first. I think he's going to come in an hour after. So I'll spend the time, you know, that he's not there to create my character, and I think there's a tutorial and whatnot. So I'll get all that done. That way I'm ready to go when he joins up. If everything goes well tonight, then I might do Elder Scrolls again tomorrow, but I might do Kentucky Route Zero instead. I don't know. I'm going to do a Kentucky Route Zero stream for sure over the next 5 days or so. I'll let you guys know when, and I'll be giving away a copy of the game and whatnot. But anyways, I think that's it. This might have been a long video. I don't know. I'm sorry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next month. Bye-bye.